Hello guys, how are you? I hope you are doing well.
Hello, what's going on in the meeting? Can someone maybe volunteer to control?
They said they are waiting for the summit starts. The summit.
Okay,
Oh,
okay, let's wait. Let's wait because I was confused because nobody is controlling everything, but it's okay.
maybe like that.
Hi everyone. Can we all unmute? Can we unmute?
All right, because of our time, I have to proceed without the moderator. So, welcome everyone to the Global Leadership Summit. I think we're having a bit of technical issues with the core team specifically, and also we might have to make this announcement also earlier on. We might have some other. Please kindly mute yourself. Having some echoes. Please kindly mute yourself. All right, so we are having some technical issues with joining this call, and we have to recommend some to join via YouTube because we also had some issues with getting more than 8,000 on this call. So we might have to recommend to join via YouTube while the speakers and panelists join on this call. But nevertheless, to still be open to some selected few, and we apologize for that ahead of that on behalf of the client. So welcome everyone. Um, Adjoa, if you're on the call, just kindly raise your hand so I can pass it on to you. But if not, I'll just kindly proceed. So welcome everyone. All right, Adjoa, over to you. We cannot hear you. Please. That's the issues. We cannot hear you clearly. No, you're not. We can't hear you.
No, we can't hear you, Adra.
Maybe you should try an accessory, maybe a headset or earpiece. All right. So while she fixes that, I'll just proceed with the other plan for the opening sessions. So welcome everyone, and like I said earlier, we apologize ahead. We didn't know, we expected, but we hope to do much better for day two and day three. So welcome everyone. This, on behalf of May Foundation, I say we are deeply honored to have all of you to be a part of this. From over 65 countries, we are deeply honored to have all of you from across 200 um, organizations. Sorry, I'll be unable to share my screen, but I hope the audio can work before the next high-level opening speaker continues. So we're deeply honored to have all of you on board, and those watching on YouTube, you're not left out. So we're deeply honored to have everyone on board. We had over 2,000 registrants, so that's bigger than what we even planned for. So we are deeply honored, and for all of the guests, the important, vibrant youth leaders here on this call, and those that would watch the podcast. Um, Again, it's a great pleasure and excitement that I speak to you on behalf of May Foundation at the Global Leadership Summit 2024. This is the maiden event hosted by May Foundation, and to discuss pivotal roles of youth in shaping a thriving future for all. In an era marked by rapid change and unprecedented challenges, it is imperative that we recognize and unleash the immense potential within our youth at an early stage towards a brighter future. Because our tomorrow are determined by what we do now. All that we see tomorrow, emphasis on now, are determined by what we do now. And today, more than ever, we find ourselves at crossroads. We face global issues such as hunger, where youth have to step up, climate change, where we have to bring more people on board, social inequality, technological disruption, health crisis that demands innovative solution and bold leadership. And in this landscape of uncertainty, it is the energy of youth, our creativity, our resilience as young leaders, you and I, that offers hope and inspiration for the future. We are the future, including the children, we are the future and all young persons. And that is why also the UN office, because we're also passionate about the SDG, the UN office has adopted to bring on board the youth office, where a platform has been created for youth voices to be heard, not just on the streets, but also in decision making platforms. So, but to truly unleash the potential of youth leadership, we must provide them the platform beyond just summits and events. We must provide youth platform. We must provide youth platform, youth for youth, just like this event has created an example, a coalition of youth coming together to set a platform for youth. We must provide them resources alongside support, bring all of our resources, pull them together, and see how we can create a truly sustainable future together. This means investing in education, not just relying on our government and our policymakers alone, but standing up and saying we must make something happen. Mentorship programs, lifting others up because we cannot do it alone. Opportunities for meaningful engagement. It means fostering culture of empowerment where young people are encouraged to dream big, take risk, and learn from both success and failure. That's what the Global Leadership Summit is here about. And at the same time, at this time, we must recognize that youth leadership is not a substitute for adult leadership, but rather a complement to it. We must bridge the generational divide of the older generation and the newer generation, as we say, Gen XYZ, and create spaces for intergenerational dialogue and collaboration. For it is through this synergy of different perspectives and experiences that can be truly that we can truly unlock innovation and drive sustainable change. As we look to the future, let us not underestimate the power of youth leadership. As young leaders and everyone part of this Global Leadership Summit, let's ensure that we shape a world that is more just, equitable, and inclusive right from our local community. Let us embrace the diversity of ideas and voices that our young leaders bring to the table, and let us work together across generations and borders to build a future that we can all be proud of. So thank you very much. I think I didn't introduce myself. So I'm Ayomide Iwalaye, the Global Director and the Chair of the Global Leadership Summit 2024. So thank you very much for being part of this. I guess I would pass it on to the moderator back if she's on this call. Again, just kindly raise your hand because we have
Okay.
more.
Am I audible now?
Yes, over to you.
Okay. I hope I'm audible now.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Mache, Maha, Majo. Mmobi biara akwa abasronko about the Global Leadership Summit 2024. Mijina My Foundation anemu. Edo obi biara se wanya mre ababeka ye ho ene. So, the language I just spoke is Chi, a local dialect widely spoken in Ghana, West Africa. It directly translates as good morning, good afternoon, good evening, young leaders. On behalf of the My Foundation, I'd like to warmly welcome us all to the Global Leadership Summit 2024. Well, we are so excited to have you all here with us and would like to say a very big thank you to our distinguished guests, our partners, supporting organizations, and all participants for taking time off your busy schedules to be here with us today. My name, once again, is Ajua Benua Hackman, and I'm the country representative for My Foundation here in Ghana. So before we proceed, kindly allow me to introduce some of our main guest speakers. We have in the person of Mr. David Achom. I don't know if I'm getting the pronunciation right. Kindly forgive me if I'm not. Mr. David Achom is the chairman of the Afro Money Week in Nigeria. Then we have Ms. Shruti Mathur, the president of the United Nations Association of the United States of America, Los Angeles, United States of America. Ms. Monique Davis, Forbes BLK Local Council Advisor, Atlanta, also doubling as the fractional VP, Talent Success and Ops, T86 Marketing, United States of America. Ms. Childress Yamina, the founder and CEO, Yanni Beauty, also doubling as the Forbes BLK Local Council Advisor, Atlanta, USA. And then, not forgetting our own, is anyone coming in, please? Okay, so not forgetting our very own dedicated and very hardworking founder and global director of them here at the My Foundation. He's in the person of Mr. Ayomide Iwalaye from Nigeria. So briefly, the Global Leadership Summit is a global event organized by the My Foundation in partnership with some organizations. So the Global Leadership Summit is being organized in partnership with the Forbes BLK, the United Nations Association of the United States of America, Ye Community, that's International Trade Fair Center, UNDP Youth for Climate, WHO Partnership for Maternal, Newborn, and Child Health, Partnership for the Goals, that's Goal 17, Dear World Global Youth Ambassadors, Unite 2030, and Bolivia and AI. So before we proceed, let me share a very brief story to give us all an idea of why we are all here today. So years ago, I was the president of the Writers and Debaters Club in my school. That was senior high school. And I believe I was doing an excellent job. But along the line, an argument came up, a major argument between myself and my executives. So in frustration, I spoke out in anger and I decided to step down as. But then the school had an upcoming debate competition, which I was supposed to participate in, as I was one of the best debaters my school had. So in a bid to get me back on board on the debate team, the principal of my school reinstated me as the debaters president again. Long story short, I was reinstated, but then to my disappointment, I realized that every member of the club failed to recognize me as their leader now. Why? because I had let them down. I walked out on them when they needed me most. This brings some questions to mind. As a leader, do you walk out on your team when they need you most, or because you are frustrated? What methods do you rely on for conflict resolution, and what does it take to be recognized as a leader? Well, I don't know all the answers. That is why I am here today. I'm sure you also want answers. That's why you are also here today. The Global Leadership Summit is a summit for young people, and I do believe all of us here are young. The theme for the Global Leadership Summit this year is Empowering Global Youth for Sustainable Development and Leadership in Nonprofit Organizations. But that is not restricted to nonprofit organizations only. It's open to all youth sectors, focusing on the personal development of youth in relation to the SDGs, that's the Sustainable Development Goals, advancement, and leadership. I'm here to learn, hopeful that at the end of this event, I would leave being equipped with the necessary skills, knowledge, and network to drive positive change in my community. My being here today makes me a leader. Your being here today makes you also a leader. And I do believe that by the end of this 3-day summit, we are all going to leave equipped with the requisite skills it takes to make one a leader. So through a series of engaging intersections, engaging sessions, and interactive workshops. Or did I say engaging? I meant bougie, because we are all young and bougie. So through a series of bougie and interactive sections and workshops spanning a period of 3 days, that's from today, the 15th of May, Friday, the 17th of May, we are all going to learn a lot. So you from Kenya, you from India, you from any country across the globe, including myself, we are going to gain valuable insights and tools, resources as well, to become effective agents of change in our communities, our workplaces, amongst our peers, and wherever we find ourselves. My name, once again, is Adjoa Benua Hackman, the country representative of my foundation here in Ghana. So I guess the global director of the My Foundation has already given his remarks. That's Mr. Ayomide. So I'd like to give Mr. David, the chairman of the Afro Money Week, the opportunity to speak, give his remarks before we proceed. Mr. David, if you can hear me, please, can you proceed? Mr. David.
All right, give me 2 minutes, please. Give me 2 minutes.
Yes,
2 minutes.
Yes, please. As Mr. David is currently not ready now, can we hear from Miss Monique Davis? Miss Monique, if you can hear me, can you proceed, please? I hope Miss Monique is on with us here. If you can hear me, please, can you proceed? Miss Monique. Since you're not hearing from Miss Monique, I would have to call on another guest to give the opening remarks. If Miss Shruti, President of the United Nations Association of the United States of America, if you're on, can you give us your opening remarks, please?
Hello, everyone. Hi. Hi, everybody. Good morning. I'm coming to you from Los Angeles. It's about 7:30 a.m. here, but I know that we have audience participants for this Global Leadership Summit that are tuning in from around the world. So I'd like to say good morning from Los Angeles, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are listening in from. I'm so happy to be joining you in this Global Leadership Summit. My name is Shruti Mathur, and I'm the president of the United Nations Association of Los Angeles. And this is a position that is an elected position I have been serving for the past year. And the United Nations Association is a international organization. We have over 200 chapters in the US alone. Los Angeles is one of the largest and most active. And here in Los Angeles, we feel that we are the global exporters of culture. We have Hollywood, we have so much media, and we have the eyes and ears of so many young people around the world, just like you. I know this particular summit is focused on youth ages 13 to 30. So I want to talk to you a little bit about my message today, which is really about hope and inspiration. So the vision that we are proceeding with in the United Nations Association of Los Angeles is building a community of holistic humanitarians. Now, I want you to think about that word, holistic humanitarian. What does it mean? To me, the idea of holistic is doing something with your full heart in every part of your life. I believe that it's not just about making the entire world around you better, but the world within you as well, the world that you are a part of in your local community. Because I think as much change we can bring in our local community is what's going to bring the change in the global community. So something that I am very passionate about is the concept of compassion. The idea of being compassionate to one another and to ourselves. So I would like to give you a little bit of background of what we do with the United Nations Association of Los Angeles, how you can help, and also a little bit about my personal journey in this entire realm of international studies, international relations, all of those things. So just to let you know, I started out just like you when I was a teenager. I was living in Washington, D.C., and I wanted to make a difference. I knew that I was close to a huge global city. So I started to volunteer with my local Red Cross. And this allowed me to raise the ranks, to gain leadership skills, and eventually become a regional ambassador and then serve on the National Youth Council for the American Red Cross. So I was traveling around the country and the world, giving motivational speeches, giving leadership development training to other youth like myself. And this was all just born out of the desire of being a big sister. I had two little brothers and wanting to give back. As I know so many of you here are joining us because you have the same passion. So I started my service at age 15 and I continued. I went to Johns Hopkins University and studied international relations. And after that, I worked at the United Nations. I was a TV correspondent. It was my first job out of college as an on-air TV correspondent. And I worked for many channels in the Middle East, including Iran and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I was their first on-air TV correspondent at the United Nations and White House. So these were things that I did, and I got to meet people from all around the world. And again, going back to the key message of hope and inspiration, the thing that really inspired me the most was not just talking to world leaders, going toe-to-toe with prime ministers as a young woman, but really meeting other people just like myself and seeing the desire to create the greatest civilization that we've ever seen. I think that we all have that desire. And I think right now it is in our hands, it is in our capacity to build that greatest civilization that the world and history has ever seen. Romans and Greeks be damned. Because this is why I think that right now, we have a flourishing of technology. All of us, especially us young people, we are constantly on a daily basis waking up like it's Christmas morning with the amount of technological advances at our fingertips that we are privy to use as well. I believe that there's a flourishing of the arts, the second principal tenet. Right now, all of us have this desire to create and express. No matter what industry you're excited about entering, we are artists at our heart as humans. So I think we have a flourishing of technology and a flourishing of the arts, which we must celebrate. We must celebrate that instead of thinking of it as any kind of competition. Celebrate our individuality. And the third principle and tenet, which I'm super excited about speaking to all of you, which I think is our job, is human rights, dignity, and respect for our fellow humans. I think that that is the one that we have to work on. And we can each be ambassadors, be our own ambassadors in this world, because each of us is so multi-hyphenated, so talented, has interests in so many different fields. We're diverse, not just because of our skin tone, but the diversity of our souls. And this is the message that I want to leave you with, that I want you to really think about what makes you spark and you tick. What is your gift to the world? How can you serve others? Because I think in serving others, that is where you're going to find the most purpose in your entire life. And I'm speaking to you as somebody who was a youth advocate myself. And I'm also now full circle, a new mother, and I have a 3-year-old daughter. Mia Sabata. So much of what I do is for the girl that I once was and the girl that I want her to become and to believe that she can be. So youth advocacy, youth rights is very, very dear to my heart. It's a very personal issue for me. So I'd like to tell you a little bit about what we're doing here in Los Angeles and how you can help us and join our community of holistic humanitarians. So the United Nations as a whole has over 130 days that they celebrate every year. I'm sure you've heard some of them, like International Women's Day or Youth Day, or International Day of the Girl, which is every October. But have you heard of World Creativity Day? That is also a UN sanctioned day. We have World Poetry Day. We have World Yoga Day. So we have over 130 of these beautiful days that we can celebrate in our local communities every single year. So what we're doing in Los Angeles is we are a city of artists. We are global exporters of culture around the world. And what we want to do is merge Hollywood and the United Nations. The ideals, the principles of love, of peace, of equality that we want to spread around the world. So we have different activities that we do for these different days. And we are building a community, like I said, of holistic humanitarians. Last week itself, we held a reception in Los Angeles with over 300 people in Beverly Hills off of the famous Rodeo Drive at a museum called Mr. Brainwash Museum. Very artistic. And we had all 3 floors of this museum closed down to invite different embassies. We had partners with the Italian Council, the Italian Chamber, the British Council, British Chamber, Mexico, the Swiss. So many different organizations and countries were involved. And we're building an international coalition because we see that there are some exciting global events coming, especially to Los Angeles, like the Olympics in 2028, the World Cup in 2026. And we want to be on the forefront of these exciting global events and showing people, leading the way and showing them what it means to be a holistic humanitarian. And we can't do it without your help, because I truly believe that young people are the source of inspiration. We are the ones that will be building that greatest civilization. And I want you to remember that as you see the news, it is really all your perspective. The world is in your eyes, and what you see around you is really what you can make happen. So a lot of times we do see negativity, we see war, we see conflict. All of that is woven into the fabric of our story as humankind. Yes. But with that, hand in hand, there's the duality. There's love, there's peace, there's joy, there's equality. And I encourage each of you in the next few days, as you continue in this Global Leadership Summit and beyond, to really think about how you can meet each other on your highest level, in your highest self. How do you come together and have one hand out saying, I do need help. I need help. But the other hand is to serve and to pull people up, because that is how we build that circle of trust, that circle of community that I think we're all so craving, especially with everything going on in the world today. So just in conclusion, I would love for anybody out there who is interested in finding out more about the United Nations Association of Los Angeles to follow us on Instagram. It's at UNA.Los Angeles. My personal Instagram is at Shruti Mathur. And I, again, am the president of the United Nations Association of Los Angeles. I am a Disney and Nickelodeon TV writer, and I'm a new mother to a 3-year-old, Mia Sitara, and also a poet. I'm working on publishing my first poetry book. So I am just so excited to be with you today and to share with you everything that the United Nations Association of Los Angeles is doing and all of the initiatives that we will continue to do. We would love to hear your ideas and would love your support. And we would also love to know how we can support you. If you have an event coming up or an initiative or a campaign that you would like us to get involved in, please reach out through Instagram, and we would love to amplify and support you because that's our mission, building that global humanitarian organization of holistic humanitarians. So thank you so much for listening to me today. And just remember, I was in your shoes. I was that 15-year-old girl, eager, how do I help change the world? And the biggest takeaway that I could tell you is I realized I couldn't do it by myself. I needed that community. And it took me a long time to find those people and to build a community. And I think that this Global Summit is a great place to find your like-minded comrades and companions to build the holistic humanitarian global community that I think we all are craving so much. So I see in the chat that people are asking, how can you become a member? So the easiest way is just Google United Nations Association Los Angeles. I have put my Instagram in the chat. Again, it is at UNA.Los Angeles. And you can become a member. I believe membership for the United Nations Association of Los Angeles, it is free for anybody who's under the age of 26. So this is an organization that is truly wanting to support the youth. We would love to have you. For example, in August, we have Youth Day, the United Nations Global Youth Day. So if you're interested in helping us create a global event for that, I mean, please contact me. Thank you so much for all these comments. Yes, you can message on Instagram. Thank you so much. I'm just so happy to connect with each of you personally. I feel your stories. Thank you for coming and listening, whatever time it is. For me, I woke up at 5 a.m. because I'm so passionate about this, just like you. So let's continue with our excitement and our energy and bring it all together and just create that global, holistic humanitarian community that we're all craving. Thank you so much. If anybody has any questions or anything, I'm not sure how you'd like to proceed.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Shruti, for your remarks. So, as Ms. Shruti said, what makes you spark? What are you offering to the world? We all know leadership is about service, what you can offer to people, your team, people around you. So I'm sure by the end of this summit, what you are capable of offering to the world. Mr. David, the president, the chairman of the Afro Money Week, if you can hear me, can you kindly proceed? Mr. David from Nigeria.
All right, I can hear you very well. I can hear you very well. And for every other person here right now, if you can hear me clearly, I want you to just put in the comments, just write impact, 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 impact. Put it in the comments. IMPACT, impact. If you can hear me clearly, I want to know. So tell me using the word impact, if I'm clear enough and I'm audible enough. Awesome. I see all of the impact in the comments. I see all of the impact in the comments. So my name is David. David Achom. Yeah, she said it right. Chairman Afro Money Week. Afro Money Week. We've been in several cities in the world right now, starting from Nigeria. And we have, over the last 3-4 years, raised people who have gone beyond the state of being confused as regards their life and are currently in the place of clarity, in the place of success, and in the place of a greater level of livelihood. And over the next 20 minutes max, all right, I'm going to be sharing with you how you can go from wherever you are to wherever you need to be, especially as regards the area of youth leadership, all right, in the area of youth leadership. Can you see my screen right now? Everybody, please talk to me. Can you see my screen? And is it clear
Yes,
enough?
I can see your
If you
screen.
can, just talk to me. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I'll be speaking on unleashing the youth leaders. Okay, I'll be speaking on unleashing the youth leaders for a thriving future together. All right, how to empower the next generation, because together we can create a brighter tomorrow. Now, the future is yours to shape, all right? I know you've heard it many times that your future lies in the hands of those who have guided you. You've heard it many times that your parents are the people who decide who you become. I know you've heard it so many times. The truth is, I also grew up with that mentality for a while. I completely depended on my parents. I completely depended on, other people till I got to a certain age, and I just had to know that you have to be the sole driver of your life, because as a young individual, you need to know first that young people are the most connected. All right. When I say most connected, I'm talking about you know more people than the other person does. The only difference is the quality of persons you know. But in terms of the number of people you know more people than those who are in the advanced age. All right. Young people are the most connected, the most educated, and the most diverse generation in history. All right. Young people have the creativity, the energy, the idealism to drive positive change. On this call right now, we have people from all over the world. I've been seeing Indians, I've been seeing Kenyans, I've been seeing Ghanaians, I've been seeing Los Angeles, I've been seeing different countries. Now you need to know that you have the creativity. It is what is in you already. All right? You have the creativity, you have the energy, you have the idealism to drive positive change. All right? And now youth leadership is essential for addressing global challenges and creating a sustainable future. Overcoming obstacles and embracing opportunities. Let's touch that for a bit. All right. Now, we have limited access. What are the very obvious challenges that young people go through? Limited access to education. When I say education, I mean a superior information compared to what the other person has. All right. I mean a superior information. What differentiates you from those that graduated from Ivy League schools because of the superiority of information you have access to right now compared to what they do. All right. Same limited access to resources. You have sources, that's why they are where they are today. Are you with me? Now, those are the very obvious challenges and obstacles that young people go through. Limited access to education, like I said, limited access to resources, limited access to networks. You don't know, probably you do not know Elon Musk. That's why you're not maybe working in Starlink or something, right? So you want access to such people. And as a young person, we only have a number of years we have lived on Earth. So how then do we know, how then do we get those networks, those relationships, those high net worth relationships? How then can we build them? Because these are the obvious challenges. Also, we have stereotypes. I mean, I'll give room for other people to share other challenges they are going through at this young stage in their lives. But let me share this obvious with you. Stereotypes, they discriminate so much. They see young people and they already know that, okay, these people do not have wisdom. Now, guess what? Some young people do have wisdom, all right? But because of the stereotypes, these are challenges we go through as young individuals. We have marginalization, we have self-doubt. Self-doubt. A lot of young people doubt themselves. They do not have the belief in themselves. And you can't blame them. Why can't you? Because they've only lived a number of years on earth, and so they are uncertain many times as regards many things they do. We have fear. Young people are afraid. They are uncertain. They don't know what tomorrow holds. You can't blame them because they really don't know what tomorrow holds. But guess what? If you're talking to a 40-year-old man about life of a 35-year-old, the 40-year-old man knows what it means to be 35 because he has gone through the age of 35 before. So that way he is not uncertain. All right. I remember the very first time I was going to clock 16 years, many years ago, I was just there thinking, and I'm like, wow, how do I want my sweet 16 to be? I'll be 16 years now. What am I going to do? Are you with me? Ladies here, you know, when you turn 16, when you turn 18, when you began growing breasts and growing some areas of your pubic regions, you began to think so much. You began to worry at some point. But when you speak to your parents, they would most likely tell you, no, you don't need to be afraid. Why are they saying that with so much confidence? Because they have been through that. So as young people, you have not been through so much in life. So there is that fear, there is that self-doubt, there is that uncertainty. Are you with me? Now, how do we empower the next generation of change makers, knowing fully well that we have these restraints, knowing fully well that we have these obstacles? How then can we empower the next generation of change makers? There's something called passion, and it's inbuilt in every individual. There's something called purpose, and it's inbuilt in every individual. There's something called vision. It's inbuilt in every individual. But not everybody have been able to harness those things I just mentioned. All three: passion, purpose, vision. Not everybody have been able to harness that. So as an individual, especially because of your young state of being, if you have passion, knowing fully well that you have, throw the passion into the right purpose with the right vision. Number one, you have eroded the stereotype of not all young people can be successful, because passion, purpose plus vision always lead to success. I need you to write that down wherever you are right now. Passion plus purpose plus vision equals success in any industry, in any area, in any demographic you are in right now. All right. Now, how else can we empower the next generation of change makers? There's something called creativity. You heard the last speaker when she was speaking about Los Angeles. All right. There's something called creativity. Young people are so creative. It doesn't matter what you do. Young people are so creative. You hear some of them say things, you hear some of them do things, you hear some of them engage in activities, you see how they do what they do, and you just know that this has to be a young individual because of the vibrancy in delivery. Because of the vibrancy in delivery. You won't believe, for instance, that this slide I'm teaching you right now was created under 30 minutes, just like 30 minutes ago. Now, the question is, an elderly person might not have this vibrancy to do what I just did under 30 minutes. As beautiful as this slide is, under 30 minutes, it was created because of obviously the busy schedule I've had to run through over the time. Now, the question is, knowing this, you can already see the vibrancy in what was created, and it's obvious it's a young person's product. It's obvious it's what a young person did. It's very obvious that it's not an elderly person. Most elderly people, they're not probably tech savvy, all right? And those that are, they are very much advanced in what they do. Are you with me? So there is creativity. It's a way to empower the next generation of change makers. There's something called innovation. Innovation is your ability to think of what is not, or to bring out what is not from what is. Innovation is your ability to bring a result from an already existing problem. Innovation is the ability to create something new from what already exists. All right. Innovation is bringing out the new from the old. Innovation is the ability to make something better. Innovation is the ability to bring efficiency into a system. That's a way to empower the next generation of change makers. Take risk because you are young. And guess what? I wrote down here in my notes right here. I said, if you get it wrong, you have enough time to try to get it right. If you get it wrong, you have enough time to redo. You have nothing to lose as a young individual. You have nothing to lose. There's something called collaboration. There's something called empathy, inclusivity. These are ways to empower the next generation, to empower change makers, to empower the younger generation. Because as young people, we do not have so much influence just yet. As young people, we do not have so much wisdom just yet. As young people, we do not have so much influence just yet. Not the majority has. And those that have got it through collaboration. Think of any young person right now, maybe a Disney actor. Think of any young person right now, maybe a popular tech influencer. Think of anybody right now, someone on TikTok. Think of any young individual right now. They became what they are right now through the power of collaboration. Collaboration is the new competition. These are ways to empower the next generation of change makers. And the last point I'm going to say on this aspect is resilience. Resilience involves you being adaptable to every single situation, irrespective of what is. Resilience is your ability to stay on something till the end, no matter how hard that thing gets. Resilience is your ability to continuously learn something new. Resilience is your ability to stay till a result comes out. Resilience. Not everybody has this, and those that do are very rare. Not everybody has the ability to be resilient, but those that do are very rare. All right? Are you with me right now? Those that do are very rare. Now let's jump very quickly because of our time. How then can we unlock the potential for impact? And how well can we unlock our potential, like I just said, for impact? How well? We have people from all over the world. We have people from several countries. I heard the last speaker speak all the way from Los Angeles. We have Kenya, we have South Africa. I saw different people in the comments. Now, how can we? There's a universal way of unlocking the potential and impact. I'm going to share that with you in the next 2 minutes, very quickly.
Not to interrupt you, Mr. David, but can we please be brief as we are a little behind time so we don't keep them on here for long? Thank you very much.
All right, completely understand. Completely. All right. This is actually, we are done already. This is the last slide before my conclusion. So we need to first develop a growth mindset. Everything that is right now starts from the mind. Everything that exists right now was conceived in the mind. So you need to embrace a growth mindset that has what we call lifelong learning. All right. So you need to develop, embrace that growth mindset. That's the very first step in unlocking your impact and potential. The very second we would have is build a supportive community and network. I told you earlier that everybody that is successful today started through collaboration. So you need to build a supportive community and network. Then next, you need to identify and leverage your strengths and talents. Every individual on earth has a talent. It's God's gift to humanity. All right. So identify it and leverage on that strength. It could be your intentionality. That could be your talent. How intentional you are as regards everything you do. Another talent could be maybe you know how to cook well, you know how to sing well. These are talents, all right? Whatever it is, it could be your beauty. Identify and leverage it for your own use, all right? Identify and leverage it to build your impact and to build your potential. Lastly, take calculated risk and embrace failure as a learning opportunity. I tell you because by God's grace, both for myself and for my investors, I've made over 10 million in USD for these individuals. All right. Now the question comes that how then was I able to achieve that? Knowing fully well that I just started about 4 years ago on this work. All right. Now, calculated risk. These are the ways to build so much in your impact and your potential. Embrace failure because you definitely come across them, you definitely encounter them. All right, you will encounter them. So, but I used to see them. I always see them till tomorrow. I'll always see them as a little pullback for a better push forward. All right, a little pullback for a better push forward. That's what I see failure as. It's a learning opportunity. In conclusion, join the movement. Unleash your youth leaders. Unleash youth leaders for a thriving future. Together, we can create a brighter tomorrow. All right, let's empower youth leaders to drive positive change and shape a sustainable future. Join us in this movement. Let's make a difference. You do not have to come into my community. You do not have to come and become my student. You do not have to get to know me personally. Anyway, whatever you're doing right now, as long as it is geared towards unleashing youth leaders for a thriving future, then you have joined the movement. You have joined in the movement, and you're going to join us, make a difference. The future is yours to shape. All right. So let's unleash the power of youth leadership and create a brighter tomorrow together. Like I said, the conclusion of everything will be that youth leaders have the power to shape the future and create positive change. By empowering them with the right skills, resources, and support, we can unlock their potential and create a thriving future for all. Thank you so much. I remain David Achom. You can contact me on LinkedIn at David Achom, on Facebook. I am David Achom there. On Twitter and Instagram, my username is at I am David Achom. It's showing on your screen right now. Send me a message. I'm definitely going to respond. Then you can check out my website where I do everything business. If you want to have business with me, you want to transact with me at any point, you can shoot me an email. I'm going to respond at contact@iamdavidachom.com. Thank you very much once again for an opportunity to share and impact lives. And I want to see you at the top, not from the top, because you know what I said, the bottom is way too crowded. All right, thank you very much. And if you have questions, you can feel free to shoot them right now. I will still be on the call. Thank you. So while we're waiting for the host, if you learned a thing or two, just put it in the comment section very quickly.
Okay, since you're a little behind time, if you have any questions, you can type it in the comment section. I'm sure Mr. David is going to get the time to answer them all. Thank you very much, Mr. David, the chairman of the Afro Money Week. And just like he said, impact. Leadership is about making impact. Who is benefiting from your actions? How are you making an impact in your society, in whatever sector you find yourself? What impact are you making? What legacy are you going to leave behind as a young leader? Innovation, the ability to create something new from nothing or an already existing thing. Are you innovative as a young leader? Are you able to create something new from nothing? And as he said, resilience, adaptability, the ability to stay continuously, to learn something without giving up. Are you resilient as a young leader? I'm sure you'll be able to answer all these at the end of the Global Leadership Summit 2024. Thank you once again, Mr. David Achom.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Lastly, I see a lot of questions on how can we collaborate with you. Just shoot me a message on any of the social media and we're going to respond. The fastest is Instagram. The fastest, either Instagram or my email. Those are the fastest. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you, Mr. David, the chairman of the Afro Money Week, Nigeria. Ms. Monique Davis, the Forbes BLK Local Advisor, Atlanta, United States of America. If you can hear me, you can kindly proceed. Ms. Monique Davis, if you can hear me, you can kindly proceed. Okay, so I think she's not on the call currently. Can we go ahead with Miss Childress Yamina? Since you are not hearing from both of them, I think we can wrap up with the welcoming remarks now and proceed, as you're a little behind time. So moving on, we are going to have our first section.
Oh.
Hello.
Anyone? No, the camera is off.
Hello. I thought I was hearing someone speak. Okay. Thank you very much, our guest speakers. Since you're not hearing from the others, I believe we are proceeding to section 2. That's section 2 on the agenda. If we have the section 2 speaker here. Okay, section 1, sorry. Section 1.
Hi, can you guys hear or see me okay? Session 1. Hello.
I can hear you very clearly.
Perfect.
You can proceed.
Perfect. Hi, everyone. I'm Jasmine from the Sapphire Employability. Today, we're having session 1 around personal development and leadership skills. We have a wealth of panelists that will be joining us today. Are my panelists there? So we've got 9 different panelists that will be attending the session today. So the first panelist that we have all the way from Kenya is Sharon Wabumbi. Sharon, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Perfect. And the next panelist we have is Genius, also from the UK. Genius, are you there?
I'm here. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And then do we have Crystal? Crystal from United States?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you.
Hi, Crystal. Next, do we have Sifa? Sifa from Kenya?
Yes, I'm also here.
Hi, Sifa. And moving on, do we have Wajun? I'm not really sure if I pronounced your name well, from the United States as well. Okay, Wajun isn't here. Do we have Jania Reese from Brazil?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, nice.
Good morning.
Morning or evening, wherever you are. And
yes.
Next, do we have Ayim Bado Esther from Nigeria?